Okay, here's another quick and dirty rant for YouTube. Abstinence only education versus the comprehensive sex education. Liberal lies about sex. This is my quick and dirty rant. Alright, number one, the left wing loves to say that the teen sex is a constant, like today it's 60%. But whenever they talk about the sex ed programs, they say, let's hurry up and teach them this stuff because they're going to learn that sex is dirty, it's going to become more taboo and more alluring to them, there's going to be more sex. So make up your minds. Is teen sex a constant, or is it a variable that can be influenced? And if it can be influenced one way, why can't it be influenced the other way? Number two, what about the 40% of teenagers that abstain? 40%, it works for them. So you don't look at the failures, you look at the success. You can't call the whole approach to abstinence and premarital virginity a failure when you have 40% of teens that abstain. Granted that reported today's statistics, it's only 10% of people stay virgins until they actually get married. But, you know, it's another issue. Alright, this is one of my favorites. I'm not trying to stereotype all liberals, but I am stereotyping all boinkers. They love to say that the reason why some virgins stay virgins for so long is because they don't know sex because they've never had it. It's like you don't know what you're missing. But yet, it shouldn't be hard for teenagers or anyone to abstain then. Because you say, well, you're just not horny because you're a virgin, you've never experienced sex to desire to know what it is, to know what you're missing. Well then why do you say that teenagers are so horny? Because you say that sex is innately something in all of us, that we know what it is, we know what we want. So make up your mind. It's like you switch gears whenever it's beneficial to you for your argument, but it's a contradiction. Okay, number four. A lot of people say, well, we got to teach kids to abstain if they don't have a condom. You just finished saying they never abstain. They don't want to abstain, so which one is it? I thought we have no control because we're all animals with all this Darwinian psychobabble, so which one is it? Make up your mind. Bristol Palin disgusts me because she was on some news show saying how she didn't want to get too graphic, but she thinks that virginity approaches are all a failure and everything. She failed, and she preordains it for all young people. I've seen a lot of this in the nerd subculture. They break under the pressure to validate their manhood by getting their first little piece of ass from a glorified boink mate or boink buddy, and they have to prove that everyone else out there is just as weak and pathetic and miserable as they are, using illicit sex to fill a void in their life. So that's why they hate virginity programs and try to say that, yeah, you would do it too and all this kind of junk, you know. A lot of people have a chance to have sex and choose to abstain anyway. Again, nerd subculture. I was at a dinner and one guy who was a virgin who finally got his first taste of sex, and you swear the clouds had parted and the hand of God touched his underwear or something like that. He sneers at me and says, yeah, Kirk, and your time's coming too. Because he mentioned this other case where a guy was a dedicated virgin until he got married, and he broke down and had sex with some girl when it was offered to him. So again, they fail in their life, so they have to prove that every single human being on the planet of 6 billion plus people are as weak as they are to make themselves feel better. Okay, here we are. It's a fallacy to say that comprehensive sex ed is truly comprehensive. Comprehensive means covering the whole deal. You guys don't. You don't teach the scope and the consequence of your actions. You can't put a condom over your heart to protect your feelings from being used as a sex object. The Young Turks had a piece on YouTube that said that if you're, I forgot which was which, but if you're male and 14 or older and female and 15 or older, there's no consequences from sex, which is insane because I've seen people that are 30 years old get up in arms and touchy about sex and easily offended. Miss Magazine in 1994 said the Republican Congress was for being against unbridled sexuality. You guys, the left wing, you're the ones for bridled sexuality because you demean it and trash it so horribly. You call it a biological function with no morality to it and any kind of morals that we put on it are ornamental and decorative and superficial and so forth. That is bridled sexuality, being a slut. Those people are the biggest sexual slaves on the planet, not virgins. And also the context-free environment of sexual mechanics and body parts snapping together is misleading because you're using the premise that sexuality exists in its default state as you just do it, and the morals and something that come along with it are man-made and fake, which is not the case. 7th point. The Young Turks had a piece where they said that after sex I feel great and all this kind of junk. If that were true in an ultimate context, we'd have built a utopia by now with all the promiscuity that we have. The problem is that you feel great right after, but it's like a drug addiction. You have to get another quick fix because you're trying to address that void you're trying to fill in your life, that hole and that emptiness. So doing a line of coke, you feel great right after. Getting drunk, you feel great right after, but not whenever you puke the next morning from being drunk, with a hangover, or when you feel empty whenever you're off the drug rush. In fact, something I learned in college in psychology was that most or all cocaine addicts spend their entire addicted lives trying to recreate the buzz they got from their first cocaine fix, because your body develops a tolerance to it. It's like a void that you can't boink enough to fill the emptiness in your life. It has nothing to do with some human urge like hunger. It has to do with get your morals straight and then you won't be a slut. This goes for men and women. Okay, my solution to all this mess. Lower the bombardment of the sex media. Boycott it. Do something. I've said this to people in the past, a few conservatives actually, and they said if you sponsor some government initiative that they make you show the affiliates of companies that are marketing sex to people, that's kind of like this sexual McCarthyism, Gestapo type technique and stuff. Well, I thought you damn liberals say, if you don't like it, don't support it. How can I not support you if you're not letting me see with some transparency as to who's supporting marketing sex and entertainment or in products so I can boycott you? So make up your mind. Number 9. Why do so many people regret sex when the left wing usually claims that this infallible superhuman ideology, that they know what they're doing at any given point, it's a basic human urge and all that? Because when these people have sex, they're not getting the whole picture. If people had the whole picture, because true freedom is knowing the scope and consequences of your actions, a lot of people wouldn't screw in the first place, because they would realize that this so-called horniness is just trying to fill a void in your life. It's a psychological number. It has nothing to do with some basic human urge like hunger or something. And besides, to put sex and hunger on the same scale is misleading. It's a far too much of a sloppy, messy, oversimplistic linear scale to begin with. It's wrong. We're not infallible superhumans. One liberal on a news board, a conservative news board, asked me, why are you worried about other people's sex? Well, easy. We don't live in a universe where every person in the world has supreme knowledge and supreme understanding. It's possible for people to be misled, coerced, brainwashed, conditioned, intimidated, lied to, manipulated, and all that comes with the titty media that we have today. Amazing. Okay, comments. You're welcome to comment whatever you want, and that's cool. I'm for freedom of speech. Leave your video comments and stuff. But for you losers who say, get laid, loser, say something else, okay? Because you guys are the losers. You're the boinkers. You guys can go to hell, but the other responses that are rational, be as liberal as you want. Be as pro-premarital sex as you want. That's cool. Leave big paragraphs. If the limit for the word text cuts you off, post a second one. I'm cool. Just for the male boinkers out there, or maybe even the female boinkers out there who ignore everything I say, ignore all of my points and say, well, get laid, loser. No, you guys are losers. Alright, there. Bye.